くやり続ける、もうそこかなと思ってます。
第一戦から非常に短い期間だったと思いますが、チーム、選手にはどんな言葉をかけたんですか？
いやもう本当に今も言いましたけどね、やるべきことを、前節はねやるべきことをやれなかったので、そういう意味で言うとね、やるべきことをしっかりやればね、十分自分たちのね、力を信じて戦えばね、特にホーム轟ですので、いろんなものを起こせると思ってますので、自分たちの力を信じようと、そういう話はしています。
多くのタイトルをこのチームにもたらした鬼木監督、最後このタイトルに向けて逆境を跳ね返す、何が重要になってくると思いますか？
いやもうとにかく選手に関してはね、自分の力を信じてほしいですし、この轟っていうものをね信じてほしいですし、自分自身もね、とにかく信じてね、ここをね戦いたいと思ってますので、とにかく勝ちたいと思ってます。
第一戦からのスタメンも大きく変えていると思います。その変えた選手たちについては期待、どんなところを持っていますか？
いやもう全選手にね、とにかく時間ではなくて90分の選手もいればね、5分10分の選手もいるかもしれないですけど、とにかくね、それはもう時間関係ないので、とにかく全員がねエネルギーを持って戦ってほしいと思います。
ホームのサポーターも逆転での決勝進出期待していると思います。そのあたりいかがでしょう？
いやもう答えたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。期待しています。ではアルビレックス新潟松橋力蔵監督です。クラブ史上初のルヴァンカップ決勝進出がかかる今日の試合です。ポイントを教えていただけますか？
いやもう今日の試合、先を見ずやっぱり1分1秒大事に全員で戦っていきたいというふうに思います。
第一戦で非常に大きなアドバンテージも得たと思いますが、この2戦合計での決着です。そのあたりの意識というのはいかがでしょうか？
最初からはそこは意識せず、やはり勝って、次のステージにやっぱり進むことを念頭に置きながら戦いたいですし、時間帯によってもしかするとそういう状況も起こり得るかもしれないですけども、我々が一番最初に考えることは先ほど申し上げた通り、もう勝って次に進むと、そこにまずしっかりと目線を合わせていきたいと思っています。
やはりその勝つというところの意識の表れかと思いますが、今日はスタメン前線の選手を変えているなという印象ですが、そのあたり期待するところいかがでしょうか？
もう本当にそれぞれの良さをしっかりと発揮してくれればいいと思います。
そして今日はアウェーの地にもかかわらず多くのサポーターがすでに詰めかけています。初の決勝進出にも期待がかかっていると思いますが、いかがでしょうか？
そうですね、全員で、その景色をしっかりと見に行きたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。期待しています。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
ました。審判並びに両チーム選手の入場です。
A very warm welcome to a splendid Sunday afternoon in Kawasaki for this afternoon's J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final second leg between Kawasaki Frontale and Albirex Niigata. The Todoroki Stadium looks absolutely fantastic for today's game, and both sets of supporters providing a very fervent atmosphere for the players to walk into today. Shin Yamada leads out Kawasaki Frontale today. And Michael James does likewise for Albirex Niigata. You may be forgiven for thinking with a 4-1 aggregate advantage that Albirex Niigata's passage into what would be their first ever major domestic final has already been all but secured. But over 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, Kawasaki thumped Niigata 5-1 in the league. So between these two teams, it's safe to say that anything could still happen. It's been a disappointing league campaign for both sides, but the Levain Cup and the chance to get to a major final provides a chance to change the narrative on the season somewhat, maybe make it a bit more fun than it has been so far. For Kawasaki Frontale coach Toru Oniki, he's changed his system as he attempts to turn this tie around, moving to a 4-4-2 formation and making 5 changes. Sung Young comes in goal, and Yuichi Maruyama replaces Cesar Haidar in defence. Yuki Yamamoto partners So Kawahara in midfield. And veteran Akihiro Ienaga will play on the right-hand side of a strike force which features the club's 2 main centre forwards. Erison, the Brazilian who keeps his place, and top goal scorer Shin Yamada, who comes in and captains the side today. The normal club captain, Yasuto Wakizaka, and star centre-back Kota Takai do not feature for the hosts. As you can see, we will have VAR today. If the score is level on aggregates after 90 minutes, then regardless of what iteration that scoreline takes, then we will go to extra time. There are no away goals. As for Albirex Niigata, as in previous cup rounds and the first leg, regular goalkeeper Ryosuke Kojima is rested, so Koto Abe starts in goal. Thomas Deng is away with the Australian national team, so Hayato Inamura, on a special contract from Toyo University, partners Michael James at centre-back once again. The club captain, Hiroki Akiyama, drops out of midfield. He's replaced by that man there, Eiji Miyamoto. And up front, the first goal scorer on Wednesday evening, Kaito Taniguchi, is injured. He went down injured soon after scoring. So Fujiko Matsuhashi has brought in Motoki Nagakura. He already has 6 goals in the Levain Cup this season, and he starts up front for Albirex Niigata in today's game. Picked the ball out the net once last week, in the previous game, did Koto Abe. It wasn't really tested enough by Kawasaki Frontale. That was something Toru Oniki reflected on after the game. It's going to take a big turnaround, but with the firepower of Eriksson and Yamada. And there's no doubt that Kawasaki Frontale have what it takes to really do something special here. They will have to defend better though. If this is your first time watching these two teams, Kawasaki Frontale are in the blue shirts with the black shorts. Albirex Niigata in their changed kits, playing in white today. That's a neat turn early on here. And a chance for an early 40 forward for the visitors. Hasegawa plays that inside and the ball breaks. And that was an early opportunity. Coming in there was Danilo Gomes, peeling off the right-hand side. Early scare for Kawasaki Frontale, and that was a good block coming across Sotamura. Doing well to anticipate the danger, but an early opportunity here. The set piece, it's Kento Hashimoto, the left back, who takes it, swings it in deep to the far side, and that was a free header. Good opportunity for Nagakura. Made a good run, but couldn't get it on target. Exactly the man that Albirex Niigata would have wanted that to fall to. But Kawasaki Frontale already being shown that they'll have to be at their very best if they're going to pull off the unexpected here. That was Akihiro Ienaga, and with a niggly challenge early on. Danilo Gomes, who's been heavily involved early on here, the Brazilian, takes a sore one. Left-footed player, playing on the right-hand side, as an inside forward today. Riziko Matsuhashi was delighted after his team's work on Wednesday. Praised the energy and atmosphere inside the stadium, but its critique the second half performance. He did say that his team can't fall into the trap of thinking that the 4-1 aggregate lead is an advantage per se. Did point to the 5-1 league defeat and said that the team essentially cannot rest in its laurels. Eriksson seems to have taken a painful one there. Slight brush of the face, maybe. It's been a fairly injury-addled spell for the Brazilian at Kawasaki Frontale. Hasn't really got going consistently yet in his time in Japan, but certainly shown flashes of ability that tell you he is a quality player. It's going to be interesting to see how the combination goes with Yamada up front. They're the most talented front men in Japanese football, you could argue. Good challenge there. An excellent travelling support from Albirex Niigata. These fans here looking to witness some history for their club. never got to a major final, as I mentioned. The closest that they've come in the past was in 2015, when they lost 3-2 on aggregate to a 94th minute winner from Gamba Osaka's Hiroki Fujiharu. Heartbreak on that occasion. If they were to give up a 4-1 aggregate lead in this second leg, and that would probably be even more heartbreaking. The fans are confident and hopeful though, and the team have certainly started with a good spring in their step here. Ryota Komi starting on the left hand side. An early spurt. Chasing after that was Yenaga, but he couldn't get there. Toru Oniki describes Wednesday's defeat as extremely disappointing. Pointed to the fact his team in duels and in terms of not allowing shots on goal or crosses just weren't up to scratch. Kawasaki Frontale though, almost getting in early on here. You can see there's a flood of blue-black bodies forwards. Ball moving around with good pace early on here. Van Vermeerkerken tries to deliver the cross. The second time of asking, it's popped in by Kawahara. But too close to Koto Abe. So Kawahara has been one of relatively few recruitment successes for Kawasaki Frontale. Some stellar names during Toru Oniki's time in charge, likes of Mitoma at Brighton and Hatate at Celtic. They've gone on to greater and better things, but they haven't managed to replace the departing players with individuals of the same requisite quality. Good pass. Kawasaki Frontale with good numbers forwards. Yenaga just keeping some composure to proceedings. They made a good run, which was well spotted, but the pass cut out. Alert defending at the back there. Albirex Niigata. James and that back line certainly going to be stretched, you imagine. Hands full. Yenaga on one side, Marcinho on the other, in the front pairing. Erison and Yamada. Sasaki goes back to the goalkeeper. Sung-Young. Back in goal. Yamaguchi was not really covering himself in glory. And backup goalkeeper who played midweek, Tebo Yamaguchi. Ball given away by Kawasaki Frontale though, and Albirex Niigata take an early pop on goal. It's well saved by Young. Decent effort there. afternoon at the Todoroki Stadium. And a good game of football, play pinging from one end to the other with great pace. Effort again from Nagakura. Big Swan Stadium, the home of Albirex Niigata and their fervent fans. It's certainly been one of the places where some eye-watering results have happened in this competition so far. Here's Marcinho. Good run from Marcinho, just poor touch at the end of it. Brought it to a halt, but working hard to win possession back. Ienaga now. Leaves that off. Van Vermeerkerken can cut it back. Got a good angle for the cross. With the direction on the header. And the elevation not quite right. Nice move by Kawasaki Frontale. Yamada couldn't keep it down. Long way to go in this tie, you feel. Hashimoto. It's back to Inamura. As I was saying though, the Denka Big Swan Stadium, as well as the 4-1 win against Kawasaki Frontale. They did score 5 against Machida Zelvia. Quarter-final rounds. It's been quite the adventure in the competition so far for Albirex Niigata. They've fought their way all the way up from the second round, whereas Kawasaki Frontale, due to Asian Champions League participation, entered at the quarter-final stage. It hasn't been smooth sailing in the competition for Albirex Niigata. In 6 games against Iwaki FC, Blaublitz Akita, Ivana Nagasaki and Machida Zelvia to get to this stage. It took extra time to beat the J2 League side, Blaublitz Akita, in the 3rd round. Quite the adventure so far. Komi can't quite get turned, and Sasaki does well. Transitions galore in this game. Ienaga couldn't find a teammate with the pass. But this is very, very open. Which is probably a preferential element for Kawasaki Frontale. Albirex Niigata maybe would just like to keep this nice and tight. Hashimoto was turned into trouble, but Komi helped him out. Abe spreads that to Fujiwara. That's good football from Albirex Niigata. He's coming forward now. Hasegawa just oversells that pass. Danilo Gomes was breaking into the box. Experienced goalkeeper Young. Certainly brings a degree of assurance to that back line for Kawasaki Frontale that was perhaps missing on Wednesday. Good run. The Cavalry arriving, a ball in and a good save by Young. Albirex Niigata threatening once again. The away fans making the bulk of the noise right now. Another good opportunity for the visitors. They're playing some good football here. Clamour for a free kick there. Certainly been a good intensity to this match early on. Yenaga, good switch of play. Sasaki find a teammate. Marcinho though picks up. Edison tries to get it back to his compatriot. Not quite. Yamamoto. Now picked up by Kawahara. Sasaki. Good flowing football from Kawasaki Frontale. One touch stuff. Yamada was after that one and tripped, but ball goes behind for a goal kick, and the Kawasaki Frontale frontman is not impressed. Here's the chance at the other end though. Good flowing move once again. And a good stop by Young. Segawa found himself in the right place to grab the third goal. First one in the second half. In the first leg. A fairly pivotal goal, that one, in terms of the complexion of the tie overall. Certainly been very active here. Young, full of confidence. And the Korean goalkeeper setting the tone at the back there. Almost 19 minutes gone here at the Todoroki Stadium. And Albirex Niigata have probably threatened more than Kawasaki Frontale so far. Niigata carrying a 4-1 lead into the game. And they're just getting between the lines, as you can see. Komi plays that short to Hoshi. Here is Yuji Hoshi. Scored the fourth goal in the first leg. Van Vermeskerken went crashing into the back of Hasegawa there. And Motoki Hasegawa is getting around the pitch plenty. in this opening 20 minutes. Certainly causing plenty of problems. For Kawasaki Frontale's defence. No surprise that the bulk of the noise coming from the away supporters so far. Really has been an exciting Levain Cup this season. The format was introduced, which involves J.League clubs all the way down from the J1 League to J3. Previously it was only J1 clubs plus the teams that had just been relegated from the top flights. Potential upsets, and the role that lower league clubs are designated as hosts to larger J1 fan bases. Certainly been a boon financially and entertainment-wise in this competition this season. Kawasaki Frontale aiming to get to the final of this competition for the 6th time. Albirex Niigata looking for their first. Yamada tries to turn. It's well defended though. Good work from Miyamoto. Eiji Miyamoto brought into the team today and certainly gone about his work in a very diligent fashion so far. Regular rotation player. Hashimoto with a good turn. Nice work from Van Vermeerkerken coming inside. Edison tries to turn. He's forced backward. Kawahara. Slobby play giving that away, and now Segawa coming the other way. He's got support as well. Yamamoto just went tumbling. Naga drops a little bit deeper. Just trying to knit passes together. Kawasaki Frontale. Managed to procure the early goal they would maybe have wanted to sow some doubts in amongst the Albirex Niigata team. Good work there from Koto Abe to stop that one going out. Fujiwara cleared the ball off his own face. Every day you see that. Doesn't seem to have affected his enthusiasm any. Here's Miyamoto. That's a good pass. Nice exchange. Back in towards Nagakura. The edge of the box, just trying to tee it up is Miyamoto. Never hit that one though. Eiji Miyamoto certainly getting around with intent. I think Danilo Gomes wanted to see the ball earlier. Semi-final in action right now. Also 0-0 in that one. Nagoya Grampus against Yokohama F. Marinos. Grampus leads by 3-1 on aggregates in that one. Winner of that tie will play the winner of this one at the National Stadium time on the Levain Cup showpiece. Ienaga. Sasaki. Trying to inject some pace into the attack. Kawasaki Frontale, plenty of Niigata players back. Marcinho with good work. Ericsson's after it. Yamada's there. Won't quite fall for a Kawasaki player. Michael James then pumps his head through it. Well, this is the nerviest. Things have gone for Albirex Niigata so far. Sasaki steps forward and then thunders the shot in. Centre back not scared. And it did take a touch off Miyamoto on the way through. Important one as well. Deflected above Koto Abe's goal. Kawasaki Frontale's goal in this tie did come from a set piece from that side as well. Minamura couldn't get much on the header away. Now gets possession back and a chance to complete the clearance. That's good football from Albirex Niigata. Nice flowing play. Ball now out with Fujiwara. Danilo Gomes. Albirex Niigata playing with a freedom here that you don't often see from them in the league. Hashimoto with the cross. Good defending. Sasaki with the header there. Danilo Gomes twists one way then the other. Deep cross again. Hashimoto. Now Hoshi with the cross, which is just about dealt with. Marcinho all the way back. th minute of the game. Kawasaki Frontale 0, Albirex Niigata 0. It's 4-1 on aggregate to Niigata. Kento Hashimoto now preparing to deliver. Michael James among the bodies forwards. Ball in is repelled. Hoshi. Long switch of play and Fujiwara couldn't quite control that appropriately well. Ball through, and there is the opening goal for Albirex Niigata. The away fans celebrate, and Kawasaki Frontale's task, which looked an uphill battle, now looks all but impossible. Nice finish. Loose defending from the throw-in. Ball slipped in well by Hasegawa, and the finish by Komi. Kawasaki Frontale will need somewhat of a miracle now. Yota Komi scores the 5th goal for Albirex Niigata in this tie. And for Toru Oniki, he must be aghast at just how slack defensively his team have been. Ball forward again. The man who's just scored was after it. You do feel that the lack of fit defenders at times, JCL, of course, a long-term casualty. No Takai either. It is complicating matters for Kawasaki Frontale, and they just don't seem to have the depth defensively to deal with the amount of rotation that's needed. Corner kicks played short. Miyamoto lines it up, and that would have been spectacular. Just wonder how Kawasaki Frontale can lift themselves from the canvas now. Lovely play. It's back with Komi again. Just about smuggled away by the Kawasaki Frontale team. They're in trouble though. Yamada and Erison just haven't had any service really. The better centre forwards in Japanese football, Kawasaki Frontale just haven't had the aptitude or the ability to get the ball forward to them and in areas where they can be effective. There have been 4 or 5 instances of them really getting forward with the number of bodies needed. At the moment, Michiko Matsuhashi is winning the tactical battle over Toru Oniki, and it's not even close. Marcinho back to win that for Kawasaki Frontale. Now need at least 4 goals to the Blue Blacks. Komi certainly looks buoyed by his 5th goal of the season, his 2nd in the Levain Cup. got to make it look easy. For Albirex Niigata's fans, it does look like history beckons for Niigata football. Barring a major turnaround, they'll be in their first ever major domestic final. They've won the J2 League twice, never been winners of the top flight, never been in the final of the Emperor's Cup or the Levain Cup. It may have been a somewhat forgettable year in the league. What an adventure this has been in the Levain Cup. Nail-biters against lower league opposition. Thumping wins against some of the big guns in Japanese football. But here comes Yamada. And that should have been the equaliser, maybe. Got himself into the perfect position, although the offside flag has gone up. Close, but looks like the correct decision. Good work from Eriksson. Unselfishly trying to find his strike partner. Both of these players playing together. There is certainly the capability of scoring some goals. Late challenge, that one. See there, Eriksson just with a shoulder on Kento Hashimoto. Only two players walking a suspension tightrope for a potential final, and that's So Kawahara and Michael James. After their bookings in the first leg, all previous cards erased prior to the semi-final stage. Sasaki, Vermuskirchen and Ienaga on the right-hand side, but facing very well-drilled Niigata side with a strong defensive shape. In the transitions, they're certainly hurting Kawasaki Frontale. Marcinho goes down, but Fujiwara went unpenalised, and the attack could have continued if he'd found the Niigata body. Nagakura was wanting it. Sasaki, Maruyama. Bonus for Kawasaki Frontale to have Yuichi Maruyama from injury. Nice switch of play, Van Vermuskirchen in space. Could have played it early, turns back. That just gives Niigata's defenders a chance to reposition themselves and ensure the shape is it to be. Wonderful skill there for eventually going down. Nagakura all the way back. Ienaga, Kawahara, Maruyama, the ball forwards. This time Fujiwara. Position to deal with it. Nagakura find a teammate with the header, but was loose again from Kawasaki. And Danilo Gomes is caught, and there's the first yellow card of the game. It is for Kawahara, so should there be a massive turnaround in this, then he will not be available for any potential final. At the moment, it has to be said that Kawasaki Frontale a long way away from emulating the 5-1 win 16 days ago. Should see them progress in this competition to the final stage. Goal before half-time. Give Kawasaki something to build on. It's Van Vermeskerken, Ienaga. Back to Sasaki. Almost didn't have enough on it, that pass. Kawahara. Trying to make things tick in the middle is Kawahara. Ienaga. Sasaki plays it in. Edison gets his head on it. Michael James can't get it clear, and Edison flashes that wide. Probably the best opportunity Kawasaki Frontale have had. Brazilian just lashed at it. Came off Marcinho. Shot was wayward, but slightly more encouraging. It's definitely the darkest time of Toru Oniki's time in charge. Kawasaki Frontale. Nothing seems to be working for the manager right now. Edison, though, wriggles clear for a moment. Couldn't quite finish off his good work, and instead Albirex Niigata now with the chance to launch a counter-attack there. A little more measured about it, though. Recognising that they have a 4-goal aggregate lead as it stands, as well as a 1-goal lead on this very pleasant Sunday afternoon. Entering the final minutes of the first half. Yota Gomi's goal around the half-hour mark separates the teams here in this second leg. Flicks that on well, and then Miyamoto. There's that to Fujiwara. Back with Miyamoto. Patient play from Niigata. Just have to be careful, though, not to surrender possession in dangerous areas. Hasegawa Ball to Nagakura. Couldn't quite twist his way away from the Kawasaki bodies. Into stoppage time at the end of this first half. Ienaga back defending, not where they want him. To be added on. Kawasaki Frontale needs something. Either at the end of this first half or through the seconds, they're going to need something quite seismic to change in terms of this game and this tie overall. Albirex Niigata have been in control. As I say that, Miyamoto almost gives the ball away in disappointing fashion to provide an opportunity for Kawasaki. Danilo Gomes. Certainly been busy on that right-hand side. Miyamoto. Ujiwara. Danilo Gomes. Nice play. Nagakura leaves that for Danilo. Now Hashimoto getting involved. Almost a spectacular pass. Says everything that this entire stoppage time period has consisted of. Kawasaki pondering over throwing the ball back into play, and then Niigata attacking. They've attacked from the first whistle. Could have come into this game thinking 4-1 lead, let's just keep that, stay compact and make sure that we can get through this second leg. It's not been like that at all. Albirex Niigata have had the bulk of the chances and the bulk of the play, and Ryota Komi's goal is the difference between these teams today, meaning that the half-time score here in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup second leg of this semi-final is Kawasaki Frontale 0, Albirex Niigata 1. warm welcome back to the Todoroki Stadium in Kawasaki for the second half of this J.League YBC Levain Cup semi-final second leg between Kawasaki Frontale and Albirex Niigata. Niigata lead 1-0 this afternoon and 5-1 on aggregate. So Toru Oniki has a lot of thinking to do if he's going to manage to turn this around at all. The team have made one change at half-time. Sota Miura has gone off and Kento Tachibana has come on. It's going to take more than personnel. It's going to take a shift in momentum, a shift maybe in attitudes. Something has to give here. If Kawasaki Frontale are going to make even a remote contest of this in the second half. Versatility. It'll be interesting to see whether that's a straight swap or whether Kawasaki Frontale do change the system again. Certainly be looking to get more involved. Only really one opportunity in the first half when he flashed a shot wide. For anyone just joining us, it's Yota Komi's goal just after the half hour, which separates these two teams. Stands Albirex Niigata on the cusp of progressing to a first major cup final in Japanese football. Italy trying to have an answer to that though. Kawahara hammers the shot in. All the way back to Young, the goalkeeper. Forward early seems to be the missive here for Kawasaki. Marcinho lays that off to Yamada. Gets the shot in, but Abe is well placed to gather. Already, though, the team seem to be carrying much more threat. There of the substitution at half-time. Kawasaki Frontale already looking much more dangerous. This time Eriksson flashing the shot in after the layoff from Yamamoto. It's perhaps no surprise knowing they need at least 4 goals to draw level in the tie. But this is much better from Kawasaki Frontale. Here they come again now. Switch of play towards the Enagai. He does manage to get the head on it. Yamada is there, leaves it back to the veteran, but Yamada was offsides. It's a a couple of times now. Shin Yamada has just gone a little too early. See the frustration etched on the faces of the Kawasaki players. Goal early in this second half. Anything could potentially happen. May have been a 4-1 win for Albirex Niigata on Wednesday, but when these teams met here 16 days ago, it was a 5-1 win for Kawasaki Frontale. Albirex Niigata carry plenty of threat of their own though. Here's Danilo. Cross blocked there. Miyamoto manages to ensure that possession is recycled well. He gets it back from Michael James. Fujiwara is fouled by Erison. Not scared to put his weight about, the Brazilian striker. Start to the second period from Kawasaki Frontale. Still nothing to show for it yet. Sasaki plays the ball forwards. Out on that left-hand side. Nagakura is fouled. Well, initially, yellow card is shown. Got the ball back well, and then just got his body in front of Sasaki, who becomes the second player the referee's book alongside Kawahara. Kawahara would miss the final if Kawasaki Frontale get through. So much danger for Sasaki unless he picks up a second booking and a red card. Sunzunyo resembles his wall. Already over as a contest, then you imagine a second Albirex Niigata goal today would surely the outcome fully to bet. Be the left foot of Kento Hashimoto or the right of Eiji Miyamoto. As Hashimoto's left, and prods across, and that's a great volley, well saved. Fantastic effort and a brilliant save by Young. Just dropping to the edge of the box was Inamura, the defender. And he caught that so well. And that going either side of the goalkeeper. You imagine that might well be tie over. Outside the quadrant, Danilo asked to reposition the ball. still carrying a threat. Albirex Niigata. Kawasaki Frontale need to try and find something. Find a goal soon. Slowing the tempo down is not going to help. That said, there is a reason for it. Yuichi Maruyama is tying his laces. Brings that ball in well and turns as well. Good work from the Brazilian. Digs out across. Ienaga keeps it in. Levain Vermeskirchen now. He's forced back across, but this is better. Kawahara looks for the early one towards Eriksson. And he's too forceful in the challenge with Michael James. New Zealand-born defender. They earned 3 caps for the country in 2011, but received Japanese citizenship in 2013. Changes afoot. More of them for Kawasaki Frontale. Toru Oniki is certainly using everything he's got at his disposal. It's just not working. Yusuke Segawa, who scored the 1 goal on Wednesday after emerging from the bench. Oniki will be looking for him to do the same once again. Here's Marcinho. Off Yamamoto. Ienaga finds Van Vermeskirchen. Plenty of bodies back for Niigata. It's in. Eriksson did get ahead to it, but Michael James was well placed. And Yamada both off. It's going to be Segawa, Yu Kobayashi. Come on. So the front two who started much excitement in this game. Yamada and Eriksson have both been pulled before the hour mark. That tells you a lot about just how desperate it's becoming now in terms of trying to find an answer. Faces. Inspiration needed. It looked like Eriksson was combative and causing a few problems. Surprised to see his withdrawal. cross in. It's back to Abe. He's closed down by Kobayashi, who's wearing the captain's armband now after Yamada's withdrawal. Chance here, good save from Nagakura, shot by Young. It's still Niigata who are carrying the bulk of the threat here. Mistake from Sasaki, and Nagakura wasn't hesitating. Good save down low from the 39-year-old goalkeeper. Komi was in after it. Michael James with the header, and then the attempted acrobatics there from Danilo. Confidence is soaring for Albirex Niigata in a season where we've really struggled in the league. They're playing with complete freedom in the Levain Cup, and you can see it. Yamamoto, it's a good touch. Marcinho now gives it back to Yuki Yamamoto. Lovely flick, Tachibana that. Tries to get the cross in. Lovely touch that was from Segawa. Plenty of flair when needed. Inspiration. Well, that's good enough. Goals are the key currency, and at the moment they're 1-0 down this afternoon, 5-1 down in the tie. Yamamoto in good position here. Marcinho to his left. That's just overhit. Brazilian though. It's back up. Now Kawahara. Ball across. Sasaki. That one attempt from range in the first half. This time it's an errant pass. And Asahi Sasaki is all over the place at the moment. Albirex Niigata coming the other way. Danilo Gomes lines it up. Easy enough save for Young. Pace to the game has been pretty incessant throughout. Thing in Danilo Gomes' mind a moment ago when he unleashed that shot. The goalkeeper was well positioned. Nagakura certainly be looking to get in the scoring act. Very prolific in this competition. 6 goals so far, none of the 5 in this tie. They'd scored 4 against Machida Zelvia in the one game. James attempting the ambitious pass. Chibanada. Couldn't quite get a switch of play right, and now a chance to potentially counter-attack for Niigata. Here's Danilo. Good chest control. Support coming. Tries to slip that through to Nagakura, but striker ends up frustrated as the pass was just behind him. Yu plays that back to Yamamoto. Now Marcinho. Skill from Marcinho initially, but two players tracking him. It's not been easy to find space for the Brazilian left winger. Here's Ienaga. Cross from Makihiro Ienaga. And then Yu Kobayashi. To control the ball, so referee's whistle goes for the foul. Ball prodded forward there by Fujiwara, and now Danilo slips that in. Hasegawa, good save by Young, across to the other side, and then deflected behind. Almost a second goal for Komi. Sasaki, who's had some errant moments in this second half, made a very vital block there. Maybe got a little lucky as it came off the inside of his leg and then behind. Could quite have easily deflected into the goal. Corner number 6 for Niigata. He's into the box, and Sasaki managed to get himself in front of his opposite number, Michael James, who's always a danger in those situations. Two more substitutes. Dayatono, who scored both goals against Vamphore Kofu. Ten Miyagi is also on. Yuki Yamamoto and Marcinho, they go off. So that's the full complement of substitutes now used. The sense of changing personnel, you can't say, and formation before the game as well. You can't really say that Toru Oniki hasn't tried to do something different. It's just his team seem stuck in a rut in terms of how to create. Although that was almost a gilt-edged opportunity for Dayatono straight after coming on. Top scorer in this competition this season for Kawasaki Frontale. And they could have done with him sticking that one away. Immediate involvement after coming on. Shusuke Ota is on for Albirex Niigata as well. Goal scorer on Wednesday. Danilo Gomes is the man withdrawn. Frustration around the Todoroki Stadium, with the exception of the Albirex Niigata fans. Toru Oniki looks as crestfallen as he possibly has done in his entire reign as Kawasaki Frontale boss. th minute of the game. Kawasaki Frontale, as of yet, unable to find the breakthrough in terms of a goal in this game. They knew they needed at least 3 coming in. Now need at least 4 just to take it to extra time. Probability would suggest that Albirex Niigata will be going through to their first ever major cup final in Japanese football. Kobayashi can't quite find the target. Difficult skill to take a ball on the turn. Nice work by Segawa. Abe brings that forwards. Motoki Nagakura could get his head to it, but straight out of play. Yenaga. Process. Kawasaki Frontale, but instead they just surrendering possession to the white-shirted Niigata players. Kawahara, good ball, now Segawa. That sums up the afternoon so far for Kawasaki Frontale. Good initial pass here, good crossing position. And then the final ball, a letdown. Though, with both legs, despite coming off the bench, has probably been one of the better performers for Kawasaki Frontale. Pressure. Tachibana that. Did well in a difficult situation. So Takumi Hasegawa, Hiroki Akiyama, and Yuji Ono all coming on for Albirex Niigata. There's the goal from Yota Komi, which separates these two teams today. And it looks like the goal which firing. Albirex Niigata into their first major showpiece final. Yoshiono. Miscommunication at the back there from Michael James's pass, but turned out that way. To go. What's any stoppage time added? Couldn't make anything of it. Kawasaki Frontale. Ryoniki still has Asian Champions League duties to think about for his team. Imagine that competition will now be the priority, with the J.LEAGUE campaign being such a disappointing one so far. The squad definitely not performing up to the sum of its collective parts. And the team's capitulation, it has to be said, in this time is something that you imagine will raise questions in the weeks and months to come. Segawa, though, trying to make something of it. Michael James clears the ball. Turn goes wide. It's just not happening for Kawasaki Frontale today. Great effort from Yukobayashi. Just needed something to go for them in this game. Small margins can make the big difference. Just like that opportunity for Dayatono, just after he came on, stuck it wide of the post instead of getting the shot on target. If we are reaching the end of the cycle for Ryoniki and Kawasaki Frontale. It's been 2 seasons now that the team just haven't performed to the level expected or required. An illustrious spell as head coach. footprint around the club. In the other dugout though, Riziko Matsuhashi used to work under Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou at Yokohama F. Marinos. Really does seem to have some momentum in this competition. Albirex Niigata, 2021, as part of Albert Puig's staff after Puig switched to FC Tokyo. Promotion into the managerial position. Subsequently, in his first season as manager, won the J2 League, gained automatic promotion and finished 10th last season. An attractive style of football. It's not been as good in the league this season. If he can lead the team to major domestic silverware, he would be immediately one of the real legends of football in the region. Definitely Albirex Niigata as a club. Semi-final between Nagoya Grampus and Yokohama F. Marinos. It's 1-1, which means that Nagoya Grampus are 4-2 ahead on aggregate with just over 10 minutes to go in that one, just under 10 minutes to go here. It's Albirex Niigata who wants a second. Some run there from Takumi Hasegawa. Visiting supporters haven't stopped singing throughout the game. Historic moments for their football club, this. Can they add a second just to add some added gloss to the scoreline on what will be a very memorable Sunday for those supporters? Shadows just beginning to lengthen a little in Kawasaki. Most of the stadium is covered here, so just a few inlets letting the sunlight in. Wide, good position and a good chance for Yuji Ono. Substitute managed to get himself into a decent area there, just couldn't quite change the direction enough to trouble the goalkeeper. Challenge there. It's picked up by Fujiwara. No. Oh no. Runs the ball across. Oda is after it. Ito, who picked up the ball over to back in defence to initiate that attack on Albirex Niigata. Ken Miyagi fancied having a pop. Inspiration very much lacking for Kawasaki Frontale today, and it'll be interesting to see what Toru Oniki says after this one. After the first game, he blamed the team for making their own mistakes and too many goals away consecutively. Controlling the things that were within their control. Today, it's been more that the team has just lacked inspiration, barring a slight 40 at the start of the second half. There's not really been much from Kawasaki Frontale in this game to suggest that they could ever have turned around the deficit that they had coming in. James Kumura is going to be the final substitute. Replaces Motoki Nagakura, who's unable to add to his tally of 6 in this competition, but he will be. He is selected, given the chance to perform in the showpiece final at the National Stadium in Tokyo in 2 weeks' time. But it looks like it's going to be Albirex Niigata against Nagoya Grampus. Just keeping half an eye on the other semi-final. I say that, Yokohama F. Marinos have scored a second, so it's now 4-3 in aggregate there. One more goal, and Yokohama can take that to extra time. That match also, of course, available to watch on the J.LEAGUE International feed. Kawasaki Frontale at least give their supporters something to cheer before they make their way home. Nice football, Dayatono. Can't find the target. Have been brief interludes with some nice football. In truth, there has been just as much, if not more, of that from Albirex Niigata in this game. Over, and now Ota, it's 2-0, and that puts the finishing touch on what's been a demolition job from Albirex Niigata in the tie. Shusuke Ota, who scored in the first game, adds a second in this game. And it's been an absolute dismantling of Kawasaki Frontale, this. Good run from Ota. Similarly to the first leg, he was clever in terms of just seeing where the space was for the finish. Too many times, though, Kawasaki Frontale players just falling completely asleep. That's happened once again. And it's now 6-1 in the tie. Not sure anyone expected this to be victory to nil for Albirex Niigata today. They thought Kawasaki Frontale would at least go a few blows of their own. They haven't done. What a moment for Albirex Niigata. This. There's some slight concern there over Kento Hashimoto. Here's the goal from Ota again, a goal which makes certain, if it wasn't already, that Albirex Niigata will be competing in the final of the Levain Cup for the very first time. It'll be their first major appearance in a cup final in Japanese football. Riziko Matsuhashi, the coach, who's won one of 2 league titles in the club's history. He won the J2 League twice. Team into a domestic cup final for the first time. It'll be very, very easy today to make this about Kawasaki Frontale's disappointing performance over the 2 legs and the general unease that is around the club here now. The sense that something really has to give, whether that's Toru Oniki's position or a major change in recruitment or the sporting model maybe. There are questions to be raised about that. But today, and this tie, this cup run really has been about Albirex Niigata. It's had the nail-biting moments where they've been forced to go to extra time to Blau Blitz Akita in the 3rd round. They also edged a close 2-legged tie against J2 promotion hopefuls Vivara Nagasaki in the playoff rounds. They comprehensively defeated Machida Zelvia, and they've beaten Kawasaki Frontale in both games. The quarter-final and semi-final performances from Albirex Niigata must have them absolutely full of confidence as they head towards the club's first ever major domestic cup final. And listen to the roar from those fans at the far end of the Todoroki Stadium. This is what it means to them. This is what it means to that squad. Goals from Yota Komi and Shusuke Ota making the difference today. It finishes 6-1 on aggregates, and the final score in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final 2nd leg is Albirex Niigata 2, Kawasaki Frontale 0.
それでは見事初のルヴァンカップ決勝進出を決めましたアルビレックス新潟、先制ゴールを生んだ